Hey, welcome back, my amazing student. This is the Python Mentor here, helping you master Python step by step. So in this lecture, we're gonna take a look at what composition is, and we're gonna put it into practice. So composition basically means just building complex objects from simpler ones. And that's what we're gonna do in this lecture. We're gonna build a composition. And just keep in mind that is one class, basically one class contains another class inside of it. That's basically what composition is. All right, it's a concept. So, and guys, and I have 3 C's here on this file. Anyway, I'm gonna copy this and I'm gonna put this into my composition file that has nothing in there. You might want to correct that. You guys probably already saw this, right? But I'm just gonna keep mine like that and I'm gonna correct a new one. All right, so let me replace this real quick. Sorry about that. My English is not very good looking, guys, sometimes, right? So I'm gonna replace that with this guy here. Boom. Okay. And yeah. That should be good. Let me see if I can run this and everything is fine. All right. So I'm running this. Let me see. Yeah, it works. All right. So since composition is means building complex objects from simpler one, let's build a simpler object here, and let me show you how this actually works. So we're gonna get a customer here, right? We're gonna create a customer. We're gonna have the init method here, and on this init method, on the constructor, what we're gonna do is we're gonna pass in the name and the email, and we're gonna create those attributes. Okay, so just to have that, and self to have the email as well. All right. And let's also grab the str method here and put it in here as well, because we want things to look pretty, right? Let's also show the email here. Okay. All right. So here's where we create the composition, very simply. All right. So let me take this off here and let's get ready for the composition here. So I'm going to take a name and I'm going to take an email here as well. Okay. And balance, I'm going to set it to 0. Let's delete some of these things here. Okay. I have a lot of things down here from the other code. All right. Once we have this, what makes this a composition here is when this class here creates the object, okay? So let's just take out balance there, just to make it simple. Let's take this out. Actually, hold on. Let me balance here. I'm just gonna, let's just take this out here just to make it simple. And yeah, we can take the name out as well. We don't need that right now. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create an attribute that's going to hold the customer. And this here makes this class the concept of composition. We are instantiating basically, all right, using this class customer inside this class right here. All right, and this is the whole concept of composition. Super simple as that. The bank account now creates the customer internally. All right, so the customer's lifetime is tied to the bank account. Okay, I want you to keep that in mind, because in the next lecture we're going to discuss aggregation, and that's just going to help you understand this a lot better. But it's a different concept, okay? So now what we can do here, down here, is we can have an account. Let's say account number 1. And let's go ahead and create that, right? So we'll have a name here of Jose. We'll have an email. And we'll say jose@gmail. And we'll have a balance, right? And let's say the balance is 1,200. And we can print that account number 1, right? As an example, I don't know if this code is actually working, but we'll test it in a minute. So I want you to keep that in mind. The customer here is tied to this bank account. That's what makes this a composition, all right? So remember, the composition let us build bigger objects out of smaller ones, right? So instead of saying the bank account is a customer, right, which makes no sense, right? We can say a bank account has a customer. Okay, that's why we pass customer object, right? That's why we pass this object to this constructor here, to the constructor, right? This builds a relationship between them. Now the account belongs to that customer, okay? Keep that in mind, right? So now you might be thinking, so why use this, Edwin? Why should we use this? Well, the composition is powerful because you can reuse it. The customer class this customer can be reused by other parts of the system. Like, let's say if we create another feature like loans, insurance, it can be used. It's also very modular, right? Each class does one thing. The bank account does one thing, the customer does another one. So it's very modular. And it's also very flexible, right? Because you can replace or extend one part, like the customer here. You could create more methods in here without breaking the other class. So it's super powerful, but it does have its caveats, all right? So in the next lecture, we're gonna discuss aggregation, which is gonna make this a lot easier to understand, and it's gonna help you decide which one to use in the future. And don't worry too much about that. I just want you guys to understand this concept. Before I forget, let me run this code here. I think I got some wrong things here. Yeah, we forgot to take some of this stuff out from here. This one here is referring to the name. So right now is owner. Okay, so everywhere you have the self.name, if you're following me, replace it with owner. Okay. Now I could have just written did this replace here, right? So as a matter of fact, I'm gonna do that right now. So I'm gonna go and replace anywhere where it says self name with self owner name. I don't know if we have any like that. All right, so let's run this again. And now it says has attribute, no, customer has no attribute called owner. And sorry about that. There we go. Actually, hold on. Yeah, name is the one. Yeah, I was right. There we go. Now let's run this, and now it runs, all right? Just making sure that code runs before we end the lecture. All right, guys? So I'll see you in the next lecture where we're going to take care of aggregation, which should be the next one after this. So they're very similar, but in a way they change. They have key differences. And I'll show you that in the next lecture. Take care.